The Take with Rick Klein. So much for 45 minutes to solve the impasse. It took far less than that for the latest negotiating session between President Donald Trump and Democratic leaders to break down, in what Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called a temper tantrum and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi referred to as pathetic and petulant. Trump heads to McAllen, Texas, Thursday afternoon with options that appear ever less palatable and a party that is growing less patient with his behavior and his claims. Democrats, meanwhile, have found what they may have lacked, an issue that unites their new majority and strengthens the position of Schumer and Pelosi. The president's credibility problems are catching up to him, as he seeks to unite Republicans who aren't wild about being led by him right now. One of his easiest off-ramps, declaring a national emergency and building the wall without Congress approval, would likely hasten a brewing GOP rebellion. Trump continues to say he's channeling the broader Republican Party and insisting on a wall as the price for reopening the government. But that's a far less certain proposition than the view among Democrats that Trump's coalition isn't holding. The rundown with Mary Alice Parks. Tom Steyer sitting out this presidential race means Democrats are less likely to have a billionaire activist on their side of the ticket. What is for sure is that Steyer's presence will be felt regardless. But it could still happen. The man has serious reach and an impressive grassroots machine working for climate change and renewable energy initiatives and continuing calls across the country to impeach the president. Unburdened by the prospects of running, Steyer could be a thorn in the side of some of his fellow Democrats should he push so loudly the idea that Congress should move on impeachment. He also could offer some backup and political cover for Democrats on the Hill on that front too. Sean Rayford. Getty Images. Billionaire Tom Steyer hosts a town hall meeting, December 4, 2018, in Charleston, South Carolina. Steyer, founder of Next Gen America and Need to Impeach, is testing the waters for a 2020 presidential run. The TIP with John Verhoeven. Iowa Representative Steve King is not even a week into his 9th term in Congress and already a prominent local Republican has thrown his head on the ring to deny the controversial congressman a 10th. Iowa State Sen. Randy Feenstra announced that he will challenge King in the GOP primary to represent the state's 4th congressional district, which the incumbent won by just over 3 points in 2018 to Democratic challenger J.D. Scholten. King's penchant for offensive comments and embrace of white nationalist viewpoints led the National Republican Campaign Committee to rescind all support for him in the 2018 election, with Ohio Rep. Steve Stivers, the group's chairman, saying King's position amounted to white supremacy and hate. While national campaign arms almost have a blanket policy to protect incumbents, it remains to be seen whether or not the party will draw a line this cycle with King, who decried Feenstra's announcement in a statement as an establishment attempt to take the 4th district out of the hands of grassroots Republicans. Charlie Niebergel-Apson. Randy Feenstra speaks during debate on the tax bill in the Iowa Senate, May 5, 2018, at the State House in Des Moines, Iowa. The Playlist ABC News Start Here podcast. Thursday morning's episode features ABC News chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl, who tells us about the latest tense meeting between Democrats and the president as the government shutdown drags on. ABC News' Elizabeth McLaughlin explains why veterans groups say the consequences go beyond loss of pay. And ABC News' John Santucci says Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein is planning his exit as Trump's nominee for Attorney General looks to be confirmed. http://apple.co/2hpocal. What you need to know today. President Donald Trump leaves Washington for a trip to the southern border at 9:35 a.m. He participates in a roundtable on immigration and border security in McAllen, Texas, at 2:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then receives a briefing on border security at the Rio Grande at 3:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 shutdown-related rallies will be held in Washington Thursday. One is being organized by a group of aviation worker unions and trade groups and begins at 1 p.m. The other, organized by a bevy of federal employee unions, begins at noon. Bernie Sanders and Reps. Senator Elijah Cummings, Ro Khanna, Peter Welch, Joe Niggas and others hold a 11:30 a.m. press conference on Capitol Hill announcing legislation aimed at lowering drug prices. Mark Warner hosts a 5 p.m. Adam Schiff and Steve Chabot and Senator Reps. event on the Capitol marking 100 days since Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi's death. Former Maryland Representative John Delaney, a 2020 hopeful, is in Detroit for a roundtable discussion with small business leaders. The Note has a new look. Download the ABC News app and select The Note as an item of interest to receive the day's sharpest political analysis. The Note is a daily ABC News feature that highlights the day's top stories in politics. Please check back tomorrow for the latest.